Hello, welcome to this month's issue of the Home Cooking Newsletter. My name's Dan, and this is my lovely wife, Kathy.
Hi.
She's gonna make us, she's gonna show us how to make some pulled pork, something or other. I don't know, I smelled it all night last night cooking in the slow cooker, and it was waking me up with awesome dreams of yummy food. So, what are we making?
Well, the theme for this month is cooking in bulk, and you know, like when you have a bunch of family over, I'm torn because I like to feed my guests really well. I like to feed them something very delicious, and I like them to be happy. But
And she does, and they are.
I also want to spend time with them. I don't want to spend my whole time in the kitchen. So my idea today is just to show you a very easy way to feed them very deliciously. This recipe people are very impressed with, and it absolutely couldn't be easier. So what I've done is I've taken a couple pork roasts, and you can do as many as you want. And I have cooked it all night, like you were saying, in a 2-liter of Dr. Pepper. So that part is done.
So you just pour it in the Dr. Pepper, huh?
Just pour it in and cook it on low in your crock pot all night long.
Now, it's easy enough.
We've got our pork roasts. I'm going to pull them out onto a tray. And this is where I'm going to take off all the fat and I'm going to shred it. And Dan's going to do the fun job of dumping all of this out. This will take all your grease and the rest leftover Dr. Pepper out. Okay, and now Dan is going to take leftover, since I have him here, and just dump that out, kind of wipe it out a little bit. While he's doing that, I'm going to start shredding the meat, and I'm just going to pick off the fat. I try to buy the leanest roast that I can because it's going to be nice and tender because you're cooking it all night. Really, you're slow cooking it, so it'll be tender anyway. And I just try to buy the lean because I don't like picking the fat out. But whatever your preference, go for it.
So we need next time try to get a real fatty one, and we'll then be able to compare.
He loves the fatty ones.
It's about flavor.
And I don't, but this is for barbecue beef, so you don't actually need it as much. So we're just going to get a good shred going on, and you can keep shredding as you go. This is...
You want me to help you? Or you almost got it?
I think we got it.
Okay.
If you want to help, you can. It's kind of fun.
I was hoping you would say no, actually. I was hoping you would say no, I got it.
Honey, if I don't know you by now, I will never.
If you don't know me by now.
Just like I knew he was going to start singing that.
You will never.
Okay, we've got it all shredded.
That was pretty easy. It's really tender after cooking all night, huh? Holy cow.
It's very easy. And it leaves you more time with your guests, but you still get to feed them very well. Let's move that out of the way because that's kind of ugly. Now, anything that's not shredded right, just
I'll just add that to my dishes pile that I'll do later. So.
If you believe that, you have never watched this. No. See, you got it all nice. Isn't that pretty? It's going to make a great sandwich. Now at this point, if you have a family barbecue recipe, go for it. I just use a very dark barbecue sauce because it's my favorite. And I don't know if this has a little bit left, so I'm going to use this bottle first.
For sure. That one. It's so good. Why waste it?
It's almost out though.
There you go.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but bullseye is my favorite. And when I do that, I'm telling you, every time I've made this recipe for someone or this meal for someone, they just ooh and ah like I have slaved for days on it. And really, you're seeing this is it.
It's yummy. It's
and I could very easily have fit a couple more roasts in here, and this will go forever.
I think we'll ooh and ah over it in a minute here.
I hope so.
It's 2:45. We haven't eaten lunch yet, and
I certainly hope so. So that's the key.
Andy, are you with me?
That's the key. Have a late lunch while you're there at about 2:45. Then they'll ooh and ah over anything.
That definitely does help.
Now, I've let it cook overnight, and then I kind of turned it off and let it just stay kind of warm. And I usually do a late lunch on this. If not, I put it in the fridge. But if I'm going to save it all the way to dinner, I put it in the fridge. I'm kind of talking in a jumble. I don't know if you're following me. But
she's paranoid about getting us sick because of the food being sitting out, right? Is that what you're saying? Okay,
if I'm going to make it a big lunch, I will leave it out because it will stay, I turn it off and it will stay warm. It will stay nice and warm. And then I shred it and turn it back on. I'll turn it back on to high just so it can get warm.
Ah, I see.
If I'm going to save it for dinner, I go ahead and stick it in the fridge when it's cooled off, and then I pull it out and within a couple hours before I'm going to serve it, and then I put it back on low. Because I don't want the meat to get dry now that it's not in the Dr. Pepper.
That's true.
And I don't, but it does take a little while for the crock pot to heat up.
What's the Dr. Pepper do? Does it like tenderize it, or is it for the flavor? Yeah,
it tenderizes it, yeah.
Okay, I see.
The Dr. Pepper and the slow cooking tenderize it. So now I'm going to let this sit. It's still kind of warm. And I'm going to let it sit for probably about an hour, and it'll get nice and warm, and then we'll eat it.
Okay. And did you say an hour?
Okay, we've got our barbecue pork. It's all ready. We're going to put together like a relish tray or a salad and some chips and call it a complete meal, and it's a 10-minute job. But if you really want it to be a good Southern barbecue, get yourself some garlic butter and get your griddle out. Just, you got to have some garlic bread.
Paint it on.
An authentic Southern barbecue.
Really?
And if you just grill these up, your guests will love them.
I believe you.
Honestly, they'll be very impressed with a meal that really couldn't be easier.
Well, it's got a secret ingredient. Butter. And lots of it.
No, you just need a little.
But remember, don't get the roast that's got a lot of fat in it. We're trying to, you know, cut back here. But slather that butter on, sweetie.
Yeah, if you're going to use your fat, use it wisely. Don't use it with pork meat. You don't need it with barbecue sauce. Why don't you get me a plate and I'll take these off on it.
There you go.
You know, I have to give it to you. The Cookin' Recipe Organizer is fantastic for the holidays. I'm not just saying that because it's our program.
Sweetie,
I don't talk about it very much.
In 12 years, this is the first time she's, like, pitched cooking during these video shoots. Oh, we'll mark the calendar.
So you know I'm not just saying it.
What do you mean? Elaborate on. Tell me what you're talking about.
It's just nice to be able to change your recipes from serving 10 to 100, depending on how many people you get over. It's very nice to have all your recipes there, and you can double, triple, quintuple them as necessary.
Kathy uses the Mac version, where you're slowly transforming from PC to Mac.
So I'm the one who hounds him for the Mac updates, and I'm still hounding him. Just so you know, I'm on it. So we've got some nice garlic bread coming here to serve. You can use any kind of roll, and I promise you, people will love this meal.
Yum.
Should we put a sandwich together?
Let's do it. Heck yes. I was born for this moment.
I just need a little more time. Okay.
Man, this smells good, by the way. I just stepped over here and I can smell the garlic butter.
Oh. Everything smells good with garlic butter.
Oh.
This out. Down, boy. Down.
I'm ready for that.
Cut. Edit. A little too excited.
It's 3.
Here, honey, why don't you take the first bite? Really?
Okay, you want a bite? Should we try this? Here we go. Want a fried bite?
Good.
It's crunchy with the toasted. Oh, it's so yummy.
Don't forget the napkins.
Delicious. Well, is that it to this recipe? That's awesome. It's so simple.
That's it.
Thanks for showing this to us, sweetie. Thanks for joining us. And we'll see you again next time.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Happy Thanksgiving.